We are leading off today with Jacob Turner. So Jacob, unmute yourself and go ahead.
Hey, Kyler, what's going on, man? Quick question for you. We really haven't been able to talk to you, obviously, since you arrived in Chapel Hill last year. But just kind of curious as to what, the past year has been like for you in transition to Carolina and just kind of how that whole process has been for you personally.
Well, I felt like that year off was actually a good year for me so I can get, acclimated to the defense they're doing here. So that whole year I was on a scout team, but at the same time I was also in the meeting room with the DBs. So just being able to understand the defense and getting a chance to watch. I was still supportive. Of course, I wish I was out there able to play, but I felt like it was a good year for me.
And one more question. For people who don't know, maybe haven't seen you play, what type of corner are you? What are some character traits of your game that you try to bring out there on the football field?
I definitely try to be physical. I'm a bigger corner. I do consider myself to be very fast, so I feel like I can run with anybody. But just a big, fast physical corner. So.
Sweet. Thanks, man.
Sir.
Okay, over to Greg Barnes.
Hey, Kyler, how is the competition battle going at cornerback thus far?
It's very competitive. We have a lot of good corners. Me, Storm, Treese, Day, and even Tony Grimes coming in. I feel like he's gonna get a lot of minutes this year. But it's a very competitive room. Of course, we have players who played a lot last year. We have Treese, who's been a starter since he's been here. So it's a competitive room for sure.
Jay Bateman talks a lot about the need for versatility. Has there been any conversation with you possibly moving inside to nickel at times?
No, there hasn't been any conversation about that. We have a million good nickels right now, but I feel like it's important to, of course, master both sides, both field and boundary at corner. That's going to be important when the time comes. But we're pretty solid at a lot of the position groups in the secondary.
Are you more comfortable at field or boundary right now?
I have boundary down. I'm still learning field, but I definitely say I'll be comfortable with both pretty soon.
Thanks, Colin.
Yes,
Okay, next up, Andrew Jones.
When you were looking to leave Clemson, what was it about this program that kind of inspired you to sign on with them, even though there really wasn't a whole lot that you were able to see as far as what they'd done on the field or anything else? It was still a new regime.
I definitely I saw the potential with the group. I saw the coaches that they brought in. I was a huge fan of Dre Bly and Mac Brown coming into it, and even Coach Bateman. I saw the recruits they brought in. I knew Sam Howell was going to be a baller when he came in. So I definitely saw the potential with the group, and I knew that it was going to be a building process last year, and you definitely saw the process they made from the year before. I feel like it's going to be a great year this year. And I also had – I'm sorry, what?
No, go ahead. Sorry.
I felt like I would be able to come in and get comfortable pretty quick just based on the amount of people I knew here.
Were there any prior relationships that you had with anybody in the program or around the program that kind of helped make you more comfortable about making that transition?
Definitely. I actually went to high school with Trey Morrison, number 4. He definitely was an influential factor in getting me here.
Cool. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry, over to Ross Martin.
Hey, Kyler, why did you decide to leave Clemson?
I just felt like my relationship there with the coaches wasn't as well off as it would have been, somewhere else. So, I have nothing against the program at all. It's a great program. But I just felt like I would be more comfortable in the position I'm in right now here at UNC. So I definitely like my relationship with coaches here a lot.
Cool. And you mentioned Tony Grimes. Obviously he's a big-time recruit. Can you speak to a little bit about what he brings? So we haven't seen him play, and he's so young, and a lot of fans are interested in what he can do at UNC.
It's very impressive how he was able to, skip a whole year of high school and come up to college right away and, get going. He's definitely a quick learner. He's adapting really well, getting the technique down, just adjusting to the speed of the college level. So I got to give that to him.
Is it pretty clear that he's an elite prospect? Does he stand out in what he can do athletically and physically?
Oh, yeah, definitely. I felt like in high school he definitely would have been dominating. Here, he's a quick learner, like I said, so he's going to get it down really quick.
Okay, thank you.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, back over to Greg Barnes.
Kyler, you mentioned a bigger body there at cornerback. Dre Bly told us a couple months ago that you were built like Herschel Walker. I'm curious, is that kind of part of your personality, playing corner, that you want to be physical with the wide receivers?
Definitely. I mean, now in college, you see 6'4", 6'5" receivers. So I feel like it's definitely necessary to have a bigger corner out there guarding them. So if I'm able to be physical with that type of receiver, I feel like I could definitely shut down the side of the field.
With a coach like Dre Bly, who he speed, but also he was able to be physical during his playing days. What have you been able to learn from him that kind of fits your skill set?
Definitely the importance of ball skills. He wants more than just a physical cover corner. He wants somebody who's going to be able to make plays on the ball and, eventually, interceptions, pick sixes, all that. So just, just listening to him, understanding the game a little more, being able to, just like I said, make plays on the ball.
All right. Thank you.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Keely Arthur, I know you want to, if you just want to unmute yourself and go ahead.
All right, thank you. Just curious to shift the conversation a little bit. Obviously, some major conferences now saying that they're going to at least wait until the spring. How are you feeling right now in terms of your own safety and the safety of the rest of the players?
I can definitely say here we're taking all the right precautionary measures when it comes to wearing a mask at all times, just being sanitary throughout the facility, even on campus at school. As you know, we started back school on Monday, and I haven't seen a kid without a mask on campus yet. So I feel like we'll definitely be able to take all the precautionary measures and be safe while we're out here. So we're just trying to figure out whether or not we're gonna for sure have a season yet.
Yeah, I know that's nerve-wracking. With just one more question, with the players in the Big Ten and some of the positive COVID tests, I'm sure, does that hit a little close to home, or how do you kind of get your mind right to not worry about that?
Of course, it's always it's a worry with us, but I feel like as a group we'll be fine. We just stay determined to just take all the precautionary measures. But I feel like we'll be good, honestly.
Okay, thank you.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, Mark Armstrong. This will be the last one for Kyler today.
Yeah, Kyler, kind of along the same lines. We've heard a lot of coaches around the ACC talk about the mental roller coaster this is putting their players on. Can you describe that in your own words about being so aware of the news cycle and what's happening elsewhere and hoping against hope that you guys get to play?
Honestly, we're figuring things out by the hour. So at home, of course, I'm trying to stay up to touch with everything. Just looking at the news and staying aware of what all is happening. But I feel like I just need to keep my head down, keep working, just stay prepared. And as a group, we need to definitely stay prepared because, they could easily come back and say we're going to have a season this year. So we just want to be ready. So 3 weeks from now, we'll be ready to play Syracuse.
Cool. Kyler, thanks so much for your time today.
Thank you.
Hey, Beau.
What's going on?
Doing well. Chris Lee, do you want to lead us off? I know you wanted to get in. Unmute yourself and ask a question.
Sure. Thank you so much. I wanted to basically kind of touch on basically what Keely just asked Kyler. When you're looking around, I wanted to ask specifically if you have friends in either the Big Ten, Pac-12, or even in the Big South or other conferences that have decided to postpone football for the fall. How are your friends taking that news that they may not get a chance to play football? And then how does it make you feel that you still have a chance to potentially have a season in the fall?
Absolutely. I got a couple friends that I know personally over in the Big Ten, and I know they're pretty upset. I would be, if I was in their position, I would be too. And just going off of that, just the opportunity to still have the chance to play. Nothing's guaranteed right now, but just to be able to say that we're moving forward and working towards the chance to play, I'm just grateful for it. And it means that much more to us because, obviously there's kids that aren't getting that same opportunity. So we're grateful for it, and we're just trying to attack every day with some positivity. And like I said, it's still not guaranteed that we'll get to play. So we're just trying to keep a positive attitude and hope for the best.
Thank you, Beau.
Yep.
Okay, next up, Andrew Jones.
Hey, Beau, you've been pretty upfront with us about your diabetes and the experiences that you've had being a college football player with that. The other day, when the We Want to Play movement was really swelling up, you kind of took it maybe another notch when you added your personal story to it, when you tweeted that out. Generated a huge response with likes, retweets, and comments. What kind of went into you making the decision that you wanted to personalize that message a little bit more the way you did?
I mean, to be honest with you, I had seen a tweet that was people were trying to use the underlying conditions as a reason for why we shouldn't be playing and stuff. And I just wanted to say that I just wanted people to know that like there's people with underlying conditions that got a voice too, and that I mean, even though I live every day with type 1, I mean, I still want to play, and I completely understand the risks that are at hand, but I completely trust the medical staff and the stuff that we have in place. And that's the thing that a lot of people outside of the football team don't understand. And that's why a lot of people on Twitter, we're quick to fire back on me. But, I mean, I didn't pay them any mind because they don't understand, like, the regiment that we got going on here and the structure that the team and the administration have put in place for us. So I feel really comfortable and safe with the stuff that we got going on, that even with me having underlying health conditions, I feel comfortable enough to be able to play. And so I thought that was definitely something that people needed to hear.
You got a lot of comments on that thread. And a lot of them were very supportive, but there were a considerable number that were not. Were you ever tempted to kind of respond one-on-one with some of those people?
Not really. I mean, I quoted someone's tweet because they were obviously didn't even read what I had said, so I had to set them straight. But I mean, other than that, I mean, I don't pay any of that any kind of mind, because I mean, like I said, they don't know the kind of stuff that we're going through on a daily basis. They don't know the stuff that we have in place. So I mean, there's no point in even giving them the time of day.
Cool. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely. Mark, I think you're muted.
That I am. Thank you, sir. Sammy Batten, you're up next.
Yeah, well, I think Emery Simmons is coming up to talk to us in a couple of minutes. As an older receiver, where have you seen him come and progress the most since last year?
Shoot. I'd say he looks so much comfortable with his body, because I mean, whenever he came in here, we joked around with him a little bit. We called him Bambi. He looked like he was a little bit all over the place, but I mean, he's really comfortable with his body now. He's healthy. His routes look great, and I mean, as an older receiver, I mean, that's the kind of stuff that you want. You want to be able to know that you got depth. That way, whenever it comes down time for it in a game, if someone gets tired or someone gets hurt, God forbid, I mean, it's got to be next man up. And I mean, Emery's ready. He's primed up, and he's ready to have a great season.
And you guys ever get jealous that he's Hal's roommate?
Oh, nah. Nah, Sam's really great on sharing the love on the field. So I mean, I know Emery's probably over there whispering in his ear, tucking him in at night, but we're all good.
Thanks.
Yep.
All right, we'll go over to Brian Keys.
Hey, Beau. Just hopping off of what Andrew said, I just wanted to ask if you could tell us a little bit about sort of what the conversations you've had with the coaching staff and your family about your decision to play despite your underlying circumstances.
Yeah, I mean, the coaching staff has been really great. They've made it prominent that they want to make sure that I'm safe and that they're taking care of me. So, I mean, I'm doing everything in my power to make sure that I'm doing the right stuff and following the precautions that the team have put out for everybody. And I mean, it's not like they're able to take extra care of me in situations like this. Like, it's up to myself and my teammates to be able to hold each other accountable to do the right things and follow the precautions that they're putting in place for us. So, I mean, as far as teammates and coaches go, we're just trying to follow the rules that we got set. And then my family, I mean, obviously my parents have been super worried ever since the virus was kind of circulating, but I mean, they understand that this is probably the best place that I could be right now. I mean, we're in a safe environment, I feel like, and like I said, we're in a place where if we need to get tested, we can get tested on the spot. We can get our results back quick. So I feel safer here than I am probably back home in Texas. So my parents are comfortable with me being back playing football.
And then I also just wanted to ask how you feel about students coming back to classes, and if you have any in-person classes this semester, and just sort of how you feel about that.
I actually, I only have one in-person class a week. All my other ones are online, but I've already talked to my teacher. I told him about the fact that I have type 1 and everything, and he totally understood. He said that I don't even need to go to class. I don't even need to go to the in-person class. He said that he would do recorded lectures for me on Wednesdays. So everything's situated. Everybody's been really helpful to me, helping me make sure that I can stay on top of everything. So everything's set for me academically. We're just trying to stay, like I said earlier, trying to stay positive and looking forward towards the season.
All right. Thank you.
Okay, Beau, thanks for your time. Appreciate you.
Absolutely. Y'all take it easy.
Hey, Brian.
How's it going?
Doing well. Mark Armstrong, you want to lead us off?
Sure. Mac told us yesterday that he's talked to you guys many times over about this semester, or whatever the academic term is about football and academics, and social life can't even be a part of it. How realistic is that for college students and for college football players, just to X out one whole part of the college experience?
I think when he says that, I mean, obviously humans are going to have social interactions. I don't think it's the fact of the matter that social life in general is cut out. But, I mean, as students and student athletes and just everyone that goes to school here at UNC, we just have to adapt to the new normal. And so when it comes to socializing, it's not that we can't see each other. It's just that, you're spread out in social places. Like if I'm walking across campus and I see some friends, I can talk to them. But, I mean, obviously they want us to have our masks on when we're not socially distanced, and, we need to spread out and everything. So, I mean, you can still socialize and things like that. But as a student athlete, it's definitely different. But, I mean, it's something that everyone across America, we need to do in order to go to school, in order to live our lives, and in order to play. Because, I mean, it's just kind of the hand we're dealt right now, and we just got to deal with it.
Thank you.
Next up is Ross Martin.
Hey, Big Turkey. What's going on at the center position? I know you're competing with Ty Murray there, and you got a lot of starts last year. You're the experienced veteran, and Ty Murray's the younger upstart. What's going on there?
Yeah, absolutely. Center position is something that, I'm trying to hold down. And obviously the coaches want to get as many reps with as many guys as we can. And I think we're in a very fortunate position this year to have an experienced O-line that played entirely together last year. Me and the other guys around me, the guards and tackles, we really kind of know each other's tendencies now and know each other's our strengths and weaknesses, so we can kind of play off of that. And having Ty in that mix too, and Adorno, the young center, he's kind of coming along good. I'm proud of the way he's stepping up, but it's really good. And I think it's good now that, especially the last couple of practices, now that we've been in pads, Ty missed a big spring ball last year, and, that's huge for him was, having a spring ball, and he didn't get that opportunity. So getting him more live reps now too is something that's going to really help him if he needs to step up in a game and be ready to fill that role. So I'm confident in our whole O-line.
What can you tell us about Adorno as a player?
Adorno's got a great frame. Coming in, I think any O-lineman coming in as a freshman would look at that frame and say, man, that's something I wish I could have. But, I mean, he's got an outstanding frame, great strength and great ability. He's very flexible and great movements. But just as a young guy, I mean, he's going to take time, and I think he'll get it very quickly. He knows the playbook like the back of his hand already, which is something I've been very surprised in. So he's very smart. But, I mean, when it comes to just being on the field, identifying defenses and really putting the ball on the field and getting to it, that's something that's going to come quickly for him. So he's adjusting very well to college football.
All right. Thanks, Big Turkey.
Absolutely.
Over to Andrew Jones, please.
Hey, Brian, you were thrust into things last year when Nick got hurt, and you were the guy. You pretty much got every snap at center there for a long time, almost the rest of the way. At what point did you start to feel kind of comfortable with the responsibility of being the anchor of the line, having to make the calls, and also playing every down at that level?
I mean, honestly, it's something that last year I got just as many reps in practice almost as I did in games, so it really wasn't too much of an adjustment. But, I mean, obviously getting thrown into a situation where you're playing big opponents every week, it's something that I did have to, it took a couple games to get used to. And I look back at the film now from the first few games that I played in last year and where I am now. If you look at, my last 3 games versus my first 3 games, it's just, incomparable and how much more comfortable and how much more instinctively I've been playing. So now I'm in a position this year where I get up to the line, plays called, and I don't really even think twice. I just been playing instinctively. So I'd say probably midway through the season, I really started to get comfortable and adjust to everyone else around me. But that's been the biggest thing, is just developing chemistry as a center, because you have to know what every single person can do on every single play and make adjustments based off of how the other players can play off of it.
When you look at the film, like you were just mentioning a second ago, what stands out from those first few games as opposed to late in the season?
Just the fluidity of my play. First couple games, there was a lot of coachable errors where you could see I was up at the ball thinking too much, talking too much, making too many calls, that things were just running through my head. And that led me early games, had a couple snap infractions and a couple of things like that honestly is something that was kind of easy to adjust to now, because, now I get up and just play ball. So just looking at myself, I could definitely tell I'm a lot more comfortable in the seat, moving around a lot better, and just being overall more smooth.
That's good. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Absolutely.
All right, Brian, that's all for today. Thanks for your time, bud.
Sure.
Hey, Emery. Hey, I was just wondering, what do you kind of feel like your role is going to be in this receiving core? There's so many veterans still around. And have any of those veterans kind of taken you under your wing and become kind of a mentor to you at all?
I feel like this year my role is to be next man up. Knowing that we got so many veterans like Beau Corrales, Emery Brown, Daz Newsome, Toe Grove, Antoine Green. My role is just to be the next guy up, be able to go in and make the same plays that they do. Coach Brown is really looking for depth in all positions. So I'm looking for that to be a big key. I'm looking for that for me to be a key part in that, and just to succeed and do better than what I did last year, and make sure I have growth over this season.
Yeah, has any of the veteran guys kind of taken you under their wing at all?
Mostly all of them. Everybody is real, we coach each other. Even I coach up guys, the veterans, on some of the things I saw, and it's just all about getting better. We want our receiving group or receiving core to be the best in the nation. So we're all looking to help each other. But from Twan, Bo, Toe, Daz, everybody, they all are like a mentor to me, or the big brothers, or just brothers in general.
Thanks.
Okay, next up is Greg Barnes.
Emery, how important was it for you to get the playing time you received last year, and what did you gain from that experience?
From that experience, it was a freshman growing pain. I realized that high school football is completely different from college football, but it was a great experience for me to come in early, get the flow of things. I understood what was going on at the time, and I just had to play that role. But I knew coming into my sophomore season that I needed to step it up a notch and make improvements. And I felt like over the time of camp that we've had and leading up until this last practice, I feel like I've made those improvements, but I still feel like there's certain things I still got to work on. But what was missing from last year was my confidence. From my confidence in high school to my confidence going into college, it had dropped substantially, just going from being the guy or the star of my high school to coming in the college football and the speed of the game changing so dramatically. But now that I've gotten used to everything, I understand the game a lot more, and stuff is coming to me faster. I feel like now this year is going to be a bigger jump.
And not having spring practice, I know, was a detriment to everybody. How did you approach things in the off season to make sure that you were able to make that jump up to this year, and kind of what are some things that you worked on?
I still looked at it as still spring ball, but just not here at school. Back home, I got a couple of guys that I grew up with that's playing college ball now. So I went and worked out with them. I have a trainer back home that I went to, and going with Coach Hess in the mornings. I just had a busy schedule. I always wanted to constant work just to make sure I would be ready just in case at that time, just in case if we did have a season. So I always worked. I worked out every 7 days a week, 3 times a day, just to make sure I was at the top of my game. But the most part, I was working on releases and just making sure and just catching the ball and running deep routes. I like short routes. I felt like I was okay at, but my deep routes, I felt like I needed to get better at catching deep balls and working more so over the shoulder routes and stuff like that.
Great. Thanks, Emery.
Thank you.
Okay, next up is Ross Martin.
Hey, Emery, which freshman receivers are standing out right now to you?
Every one of them is kind of unique, but really right now is Josh Downs. I like the way that he's handling himself, him coming into that slot position and being able to rotate in with Daz Newsome and Toe Groves is really impressive. Another one is Steven Gosnell. I really like what he's doing. He's a real smooth route runner. He reminds me of like a Vincent Amendola from the league. Like his routes are very crisp, and he's a technician. Talib Craft, long rangy guy. I really like the way he plays. He's gonna, if anything, if he gets you deep, he's gonna take it. I really like the way he's playing. But really, for the most part, all the freshmen, I feel like from what they had to endure over this COVID part, with just having to come straight in and get right to it, I feel like they're handling it very good.
What really stands out about Downs? I mean, what makes him so, I guess, really, really good right now, elite?
Very savvy. I can say that his game is very savvy. He understands it. You could tell he's been around people who knows the game, and he just knows how to maneuver.
Awesome, great stuff. Thanks, Emery.
Yes, sir.
All right, we'll close it out back with Sammy Batten for one last question.
Yeah, Emery, I was just wondering what went into the number change there.
Yeah. The number change just kind of happened. I was originally trying to go back to number 9, just like in high school, but I had Kamari Morales at the time. He wanted to get the number, so I was like, I'm gonna let him get it. And then by the time I was talking to some guys, and we were just like, we saw on the internet that the NCAA was letting number 0 be worn. So I was like, oh, really? So it was just kind of like, I felt like it was time for a change. I like 14, but I felt like with going into this year, I wanted to go back to single digit, and why not do it with 0? Be 2 of the guys on our team with Jaquarius wearing 0 on defense, I'm wearing 0 on offense, be the first 2 guys in Carolina UNC football to wear 0. So way to go out. Let's go out this year and make the number be known.
Thanks.
Emery, thanks so much for your time.
Yes, sir. I appreciate it.